Freedom, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Iran. I'm your favorite Zionist prince, white colonizing the country of Iran right now. Tal, the traveling cloud, here for another update. Man, these updates on Iran, they just get more and more interesting, more and more fun as each episode goes by. We've got a lot to cover in today's video. Just to give you guys a little heads up, maybe some of you guys are wondering why I keep covering this, why this is so personal to me. I only recently found out part of my family actually came from Iran to Israel. So this has become a very personal thing. I would love to see the fall of this regime, to be able to go visit my ancestral homeland before the state of Israel, to go see where my family actually lived and where they were persecuted out of at some point in Iran. More on that in the future, but let's get into, first of all, the message from the Crown Prince of Iran.
همیهنانم جمهوری اسلامی به پایان خود رسیده و در حال سقوط است. خامنه‌ای همچون موشی هراسان زیر زمین پنهان شده و کنترل اوضاع را از دست داده است. آنچه آغاز شده برگشت ناپذیر است. آینده روشن است و ما با هم از این پیچ تند تاریخ عبور خواهیم کرد. در این روزهای دشوار دل من با همه شهروندان بی‌دفاعی است که آسیب دیدند و قربانی جنگ طلبی و توهمات خامنه‌ای شدند. من سالها کوشیدم تا میهنمان گرفتار آتش جنگ نشود. پایان جمهوری اسلامی، پایان جنگ 46 ساله آن با ملت ایران است. دستگاه سرکوب رژیم در حال فروپاشی است. تنها یک خیزش همگانی لازم است تا این کابوس برای همیشه پایان یابد. اکنون زمان ایستادن است. زمان بازپسگیری ایران. همه با هم، از بندر عباس تا بندر انزلی، از شیراز تا اصفهان، از تبریز تا زاهدان، از مشهد تا اهواز، از شهر کرد تا کرمانشاه به صحنه بیاییم. پایان این رژیم را رقم بزنیم. نگران فردای پس از سقوط جمهوری اسلامی نباشید. ایران دچار جنگ داخلی و بی‌ثباتی نخواهد شد. ما برای آینده ایران و شکوفایی‌اش برنامه داریم. ما برای 100 روز نخست پس از سقوط، دوران گذار و استقرار یک حکومت ملی و دموکراتیک برای ملت ایران و به دست ملت ایران آماده ایم. خطاب به نیروهای نظامی و انتظامی، امنیتی و دولتی که این روزها بسیاری از آنها به من پیام می‌فرستند. برای حفظ رژیمی که سقوط آن آغاز شده و حتمی است، روبروی ملت ایران نایستید. خود را فدای رژیم پوسیده نکنید. با ایستادن در کنار ملت، جان خود را حفظ کنید. در گذار از جمهوری اسلامی نقشی تاریخی ایفا کنید و در ساختن آینده ایران سهیم باشید. ایران آزاد و آباد پیش روی ماست. باشد که به زودی در کنار شما باشم. پاینده ایران، زنده باد ملت ایران.
Iran Zindabad, indeed. Iran Zindabad. This is actually very inspiring. Very inspiring. It almost feels like Reza knew, the Crown Prince knew about this from before. He's been doing tons of interviews in the last year and gained a really big notoriety. I'm not saying this was premeditated by him in any way, shape, or form. I do think that this is still very much the plan of the United States and America and Israel. But it looks like he was in the loop, and he knew. This is very inspiring to know that they planned the first 100 days. Look, I know that he's not a perfect character either, and people have criticisms of him and his family. But at least as the person to come into power right now and help set Iran on the right course, we need him. He's our daddy. He's our zaddy. We want him. And this is very, very inspiring. It almost feels, I don't know if you can feel it in the air as well, and I know my background well does this service too. You can feel the fall of the regime is coming. All of the IRGC heads are dead. Everyone. We've basically incapacitated them militarily. The ballistic missiles are flying. They're coming, but not at the rate that they were before the last couple of days. And they keep threatening, but they don't follow up on their threats. Khomeini is nowhere to be found. And you can feel the energy of the fall of the regime. It's coming. People all over the internet, including myself, is trying to stoke the revolution. And I'm going to show you guys what I did yesterday to play a part in this.
همیهنانم
Sorry.
جمهوری
When I'm not at home with my headphones, it's hard for me to properly do these videos. Hearing that military figures inside Iran are now speaking and declaring allegiance with the Shah, this is the turn that we wanted to happen. This is the turn of the tides we were looking for, and it's actually starting to happen. Here's the video that I made yesterday. It's almost at 1 million views. Wow, I didn't realize that. 733,000 views. When I checked in the morning, it was like 600,000 views. We pissed off a lot of Iranian bots, a lot of IRGC bots in the comments. It's mostly negative comments, but I want you guys to see this video. I did it with an Iranian dissident. And this is the kind of rhetoric that I feel like we should all be pushing on the internet right now. I'm trying to play my part in stoking this revolution. So take a look at this video. I'm very proud of this.
I'm from Iran.
I am from Israel. To the people of Iran, this is our message.
For far too long, the Islamic regime in Iran has taken our beautiful Iran hostage.
But not just Iran, the entire Middle East. Since the rise of this oppressive regime that masquerades as a republic, hundreds of millions of people in the Middle East have been suffering.
Iran was once the Mecca of progress in the Middle East, of culture, of music, of tourism. We had good relations with the international community. We were loved.
Everything that Dubai has today could have been Iran's.
We could have had it all, and it's not too late.
It's time. It's time to rise up.
Regardless of how you feel about Israel, we have been given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Iranians, listen to me. My people, the end of the regime is now. We have to rise up against these tyrants.
Iran, the entire world is watching. We know that you are not your leaders.
It's time for a revolution. Makba Jumhuriye Islami.
Makba Khameini.
Death to Islamic regime. And death to Khomeini. Death to Islamic regime. And death to Khomeini. Death to Islamic regime. And death to Khomeini.
By the way, if anybody was wondering what that song is a friend of our community, Chrome 380 on YouTube. Chrome 380, that's Chrome, Krome 380. Incredible Jewish rapper. He made that song. We promoted the crap out of it back, this was like almost a year ago. It's a great song about the fall of the regime, and it's actually happening. All right, so this is some footage from on the ground in Tehran. Poor people, man, the bombing that they're going through, but necessary, again, necessary. There's no way to avoid this. We have to. Not happy the innocent people of Iran have to go through this, but this is the bombing campaign that's taking place there. So here's Iran tonight. People are chanting, this is the final battle. Pahlavi will return. Cars are honking with excitement. It's hard to get videos out right now, but the vibe is shifting. Feels like the revolution has begun for real this time.
شروع شد آفرین
And I'll tell you why the internet seems so torn on what's going on. Yeah, I'll tell you exactly why. Because when you go on Twitter, when you go on YouTube comment sections, when you go on Instagram, you'll see all these, especially the woke right now, pushing hard all this propaganda of, we don't want to get involved in Israel's war, we don't want to die for Israel. The reason why they're so pissed off is because Iran is falling, okay, the Islamic regime of Iran is falling, and all the billions upon billions of dollars that's been pushed there by China and by Russia and by Qatar for nefarious reasons, for terrorism, to undermine the West, to undermine America, and to undermine Israel, who is a part of this coalition, part of this family of countries that is trying to uphold normal values, especially normal, sane values in the Middle East. It's falling, and for them, they cannot cope with the fact that they are failing, that they are losing, and there's nothing left for them. There's no nuclear weapon anymore. It's over. They're not going to be able to get a nuclear weapon right now. We're going to put so much pressure on them. They won't be able to destroy the Zionist entity. It is the fall, and the people are rising up, and you can feel it. This is Islamic regime raids the house of Fatma Haidari, sister of Javed, who was killed by the Islamic regime. Israel is not our enemy. It's the Islamic Republic that has occupied our country, Iran. A woman shouts, "We're not going anywhere until you leave."
داشتن اسرائیلیست این جمهوری اسلامی خرج میکنه اشغال کردی کشور ما رو
That's it. This is the revolution. We are watching the revolution unfold live. It is the most inspiring, most beautiful thing I've ever seen. This is it. This is the fall of the regime. We're watching it happen. We are watching it happen. Israel is laying the way for these people to be able to express themselves and to be able to overthrow this government. Reminder, the internet is nearly 100% dead in Iran. Very little comes out, especially videos. But there's absolute mayhem right now. I can only imagine what's going on. Let's see. I think this looks like propaganda, maybe from the IRGC. Let's see. These retards are playing with the idea that they have a nuclear weapon and they might use it. But we know this. Like, we know that they're back. Somebody switched the nuclear weapon into a kebab. No, that's supposed to be shit, but it looks like a kebab. Their backs are against the wall. You can expect this. This is the threat that they're going to throw. But that's it. This is how you know they're done. This is how you know they're done. All right, J.D. Vance, Republican Vice President to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been very, very pro-Israel, even throughout this whole fight. Looks like he was a part of this. J.D. Vance, we know, takes a little bit more of a cynical stance on Israel in general. I'm not saying that he's been anti-Israel, even though those are sort of the rumors. I haven't really seen him say anything specifically anti-Israel. He's cozied up to people that are more anti-Israel, but I've never seen him specifically say something anti-Israel. But I know he may be playing with that. But let's see what he has to say here on Twitter. Look, I'm seeing this from the inside, and I'm admittedly biased towards our president and my friend, but there's a lot of crazy stuff on social media, so I wanted to address some things directly on the Iran issue. First, Trump has been amazingly consistent over 10 years that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Over the last few months, he encouraged his foreign policy team to reach a deal with the Iranians to accomplish this goal. The president has made clear that Iran cannot have uranium enrichment, and he said repeatedly this would happen one of two ways, the easy way or the other way. Second, I've seen a lot of confusion over the civilian nuclear power and uranium enrichment. These are distinct issues. Iran could have a civilian nuclear power without enrichment, but Iran rejected that. Meanwhile, they enriched uranium far above the level necessary for any civilian purpose. They've been found in violation of their non-proliferation obligations by the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is hardly a right-wing organization. It's one thing to want civilian nuclear energy. It's another thing to demand sophisticated enrichment capacity. And it is still another thing to cling to enrichment while simultaneously violating basic non-proliferation obligations and enriching the right to point-of-weapons-grade uranium. I have yet to see a single good argument for why Iran needed to enrich uranium well above the threshold for civilian use. I have yet to see a single good argument for why Iran was justified in violating its non-proliferation obligations. I have yet to see a single good pushback against this organization's findings. Meanwhile, the president has shown remarkable restraint in keeping our military focusing on protecting our troops and protecting our citizens. He may decide he needs to take further action to end Iranian enrichment. That decision ultimately belongs to the president, and of course people are right to be worried about a foreign entanglement after the last 25 years of idiotic foreign policy. But I believe the president has earned some trust on this issue, and having seen this up close and personal, I can assure you he's only interested in using the American military to accomplish American people's goals. Whatever he does, that is in focus. And, I think mostly this is from J.D. Vance coming as he's prepping the American people for what they're about to see, because it really looks, I know Trump is still kind of sitting on the fence a bit, but it looks like they're about to engage. That's what it feels like. I can't say I don't have any inside information. I wish I did, but it looks like they're about to, and it looks like they're preparing their base, or whatever is left of their loyal base for the intervention that America is going to take inside of Iran. Iran, at that point, is going to do everything in its power to shift focus from Israel, to ruin Trump's image. Remember what I say here. They are going to bomb a U.S. embassy. They're going to try to kill innocent Americans so then all the people on the woke right, all your Ian Carrolls and your Jake Shields and your Dave Smiths and Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens will be like, the white men dying for Israel again. White men dying for... When you would have gotten to that point regardless. Iran was already targeting American citizens. It was already unsafe for an American citizen to be in the proximity of an IRGC member. IRGC commando and they were targeting Americans. They continue to want to target Americans. That was happening irregardless of this current situation. But now all that's going to happen is that they're going to prove their point. They're going to make it clear to you that this is what they want to accomplish. They're going to make it clear to you that they're coming to get American citizens. Now let's take a look at a few more clips. This is Boris Johnson, UK politician, on the matter. Let's take a look at what he says.
Everybody knows that when the Israelis try to retard the Iranian nuclear weapon program, the Israelis are doing the world a huge service. So why doesn't the British government just come out and say what they believe and what everybody knows? Why don't they support what Israel has done? I'll tell you why, because it's all about managing the growing anti-Israeli feeling in the Labour Party, the growing anti-Semitism, I'm afraid, in Labour rank and file, and it's nothing to do with the national interest.
It's true. Labour Party in the UK is a fucking shit show. Bunch of racist fucks.
Hi, Iranian.
Let's see. Boris Johnson is right. I'm not going to say I agree with all of Boris Johnson's politics. I also don't give a fuck about UK politics, quite frankly. But when it affects Israel, I am in the know. And there's a sizable Jewish community in the UK that I feel needs to be protected. And the Labour Party is pretty much okay with just sacrificing the lives of the UK Jewish population. Just fuck them. Move on. We need more Muslims here.
Hi, Iranian here. So I just saw a video of Israeli fighter jets on top of the skies in Tehran, close to where the Supreme Dictator's house is. And, you can hear, like, fires and missiles and whatever. I want you to take a moment and listen to the voice of the Iranian man who is filming this video.
آسمون تهران میدون فردوسی ماشاءالله ماشاءالله بزن حرومزاده رو بزن.
Did you hear that? That is 46 years worth of frustration and desperation coming out.
ماشاءالله بزن حرومزاده رو بزن.
That is what it's like to live in a brutal Islamic dictatorship.
And mark my words, as every day goes by, the more we keep hitting the Islamic regime, the more we keep turning the tides against them and keep turning their people against them. I mean, the people are already against them, but as the more they feel emboldened to actually come out and say it, the more of this you will see, as long as the internet hits them. And I think Elon Musk is doing an amazing thing by hitting them with Starlink and giving them free internet. I mean, it's not free, but, at least trying to get them internet while they're in a blockade by their own fucked up terrorist organization. You're going to see it looks like the tides are turning already. And this is actually happening. And it's the most amazing thing to witness it, to even assist in a little bit, even though I don't feel like I'm doing anything, but just at least in a moral way, try to inspire more people to rise up. I want to do more. It's incredible to be seeing this history change. This will be the single greatest thing that has happened for the Middle East in the last 50 years. It is going to change the Middle East and hopefully change the world. It's going to change the world. It's going to be unbelievable. Here's Khameini years ago.
اسلام آمده است که این حرفای نامربوط را از بین ببرد. افراد ملی به درد ما نمیخورند، افراد مسلم به درد ما میخورند. اسلام با ملیت مخالف است. معنی ملیت این است که ما ملت را میخوایم، ملیت را میخوایم و اسلام را نمیخوایم. اون مردی که در خارج گفت که اول من ایرانی هستم، ملی هستم، دوم ایرانی هستم، سیوم اسلام، این اسلام نی. تو سیوم هم اسلام نیستی.
Does that make sense to you? This is what the mullahs want. This is what the Ayatollah wanted. This is what they wanted. They wanted to destroy the country. They wanted to absolutely destroy the country.
You want to see what Israel...
By focusing only on Islam, by focusing on continuing the Islamic empire, when they don't even have mainstream recognition from the rest of the Muslim world because they're Shia. They don't even get the mainstream recognition. And the only people now, these fake Sunni Muslim extremists who just want to see Jewish people dead, they've become their cheerleaders for the Shia party, even though they have such massive disagreements. They would kill each other at the first opportunity. The second Israel is out of the way, they go and they murder each other. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. This is why the Ummah, well, I always tell you guys, the Ummah is so brittle. In the Arab world and the Muslim world is so brittle and fake. It's all fake. Everything you're seeing is fake. It's just absolutely fake. Let's continue here. This is Preston Stewart, incredible American YouTuber who talks about all this stuff. He's a military correspondent. He's incredible.
Hey, you want to see what Israel's Air Force is doing to Iranian missile launchers? One after the other, after the other. They have air superiority at this point. They declared it a couple days ago, and now we're seeing just constant videos of Iranian launchers coming out loaded with ballistic missiles. They're prepared to fire at targets in Israel, like this one right here. And before they're able to even loose those missiles, in most cases, there's plenty that they are still getting off day in and day out. They're being struck by Israeli aircraft that are constantly overhead. So this is what air superiority does. It allows you to have aircraft or drones, a lot of these actually are drones, loitering overhead for longer periods of time. So instead of going after static targets where you know where those missiles are going to be fired from, it's of course harder to hit mobile missile launchers like this. You have to have eyes on them in real-time intelligence as they're moving from their hideout or underground location, stocked up and moving out above ground. In this case, you can see the real-time tracking of one of these missile launchers through downtown Tehran. And they're able to maintain eyes on. I mean, it's hard to imagine that this is Tehran right now, but this is what the Iranian regime is dealing with under Israeli forces.
It's actually unbelievable, and if this doesn't prove to you the faltering and the main issue with an Islamic terrorist government running your society, i.e. Hezbollah, i.e. Hamas, i.e. the Houthis, now the IRGC, which was supposed to be the only real enemy that Israel really was. This is no longer Israel fighting a small enemy, it's fighting a giant country. No, sorry. This is what happens again when Islam or radical Islam ruins a society, ruins a government. They focused all their power on killing civilians, the IRGC. Everything they've hit so far in Israel, minus maybe the port of Haifa, they've been killing and hitting apartment complexes in Israel. That's it. Instead of having anti-air missile, their whole air force, their whole their whole missile defense system was wiped out in a matter of 2 days. They're falling just like Hezbollah, just like Hamas. It's the same exact thing. You're watching it happen again. Look at that footage where the drones were able to come and destroy their capabilities with zero resistance. Zero resistance. This is what radical Islam does to your government. It cannot protect you in any way, shape, or form. It can't do anything for you. Because it doesn't prioritize your life, it prioritizes killing civilians. And that'll never be able to save you.
And you want to see what Israel's Air Force is doing?
Let's get back into Twitter here. This is more footage from Tehran. Damn, what did they hit? Outside of Tehran here. Or inside of Tehran. In the mountains outside of Tehran. I really feel for the people in Tehran, the innocent civilians that are just witnessing all this terrible stuff happening every day. Airstrikes in District 18 in Tehran where the IDF warned civilians to evacuate. You can see more examples of how the IRGC has embedded themselves deep inside of civilian society in Tehran. And they're going to town on them. They're clearing it out. They're finishing the job, a job that should have been finished a very, very long time ago. This is it. This is Dr. Eli David on Twitter. Israel doesn't need Americans' involvement in war. Israel needs help only with an in-and-out strike destroying Fordo, as Charlie Kirk said yesterday, which is true. This is the Fordo nuclear enrichment site. It is theorized to be the place where like the main nuclear enrichment is happening. And Israel hit it, but not deep enough. It's really deep underground, and it needs like a U.S. 2,000 pound. I'm not an expert in these bombs. 2,000 pound bunker buster bomb, something like this, 2,000 ton, that Israel doesn't have. And this is like they have it completely mapped out at this point, which is fucking unbelievable. So yeah, they basically need to be able to hit that, and that's the only thing that they really need from America at the moment. I also heard that there's some issues with resupply. Basically, we might run out of interceptors relatively soon, but I still think we might be able to turn the tides in the revolution fast enough before that happens. This is from Tucker Carlson, so smug and arrogant. His fake laugh is the most annoying sound I've ever heard. He did a quick Google search before interviewing Senator Ted Cruz to try to catch him in a gotcha moment. You don't need to know the exact population count of the percentage of Persian in their DNA. All you need to know is that it's an oppressive Islamic regime widely hated by its people, murders its women for showing 2 strands of hair, tried to assassinate President Trump multiple times, were actively pursuing acquiring nuclear weapons, and funding and supporting terrorists worldwide. I'm pretty sure Senator Cruz's position is forced regime change, a ground invasion, and nation building. He just wants to eliminate the threat. Tucker released a selectively edited trailer because he's disingenuous hack. When the full interview is released tomorrow, I'm sure we'll see Ted Cruz mop the floor with him. Ted Cruz is a national treasure. Tucker Carlson is a grifting loser.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
Who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
this is
Israel.
High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
Well, Tucker Carlson really is a smug little fuck. I think we reacted to videos of him in the past. Something's going on with him. I mean, it's Qatari, right? It's Qatari money that's fucking him up. That's what's happening. Is he's getting paid by Qatar and probably even by the mullahs in Iran to propagate this shit. It's pretty clear. I think his new meme name is Qatarlson. Now, I don't like the fact that Ted Cruz is ignorant about the population of Iran and the ethnic diversity in Iran. I'm a fucking YouTuber with almost 500,000 subscribers. All I do is talk about Iran all day. I don't know the specific ethnic mix-up of Iran, and I did not know the population number. I knew it was roughly around 100 million, but I don't know the number off the top of my head. Does that mean I can't talk about it? No, I absolutely understand the situation. I know that there's a mix of Turks in there, and there's a mix of Arabs in there, and Armenians, and there's a bunch of different groups, Azerbaijanis. I know that situation in Iran is like not a specific, just like ethnic homogeny of Persian people, but regardless of the fact, it doesn't matter that the IRGC needs to go down. And the fact that Tucker Carlson is willing to go down in history as the person that's like, no, well, let's keep this IRGC's good. Like, we're cool with it. It's Israel that's the problem. It's just a fucking it's a weird take. I mean, it's a weird take. It doesn't even make sense for his base, for his Republican base. It really doesn't make sense. When did the right side of America become a bunch of anti-intervention pussies who are like, we can't fight, we don't want to fight, sorry. When did the fucking bald eagle, MAGA hat wearing, beer can chugging Americans become, no, we don't want to fight them, we're just scared of them? When did that happen? When did Tucker Carlson start representing the pinnacle of American macho-ness, bro? Someone's threatening you with a fucking nuke, kick his ass. That's America. That's what Israel does. Someone's threatening to murder you, fucking kick their ass. That's what's happening. If it's relevant. Yeah, I'm not saying America needs to start nuking or bombing Burkina Faso because there's Muslims there who want to destroy America. But there is a government capable of attaining nuclear weapons that wants to take down America, chance death to America every single day. Kick their fucking ass. What are you on about? When did you bald eagle boys become a bunch of pussies? When did it happen? Sorry if I start sounding like a fucking southerner, but it happened. You get the country boy out of me all of a sudden. Even though I was raised in Florida, I'm not a country boy at all. there more videos of bombs in Tehran? Trump's evacuation order for Tehran likely saved the lives of hundreds. Boom. Massive explosions. Massive explosions. All right. We'll finish with a little bit of a lightheartedness here. The final measurements are being made. The hour is approaching. So we've got Bibi doing the measurements for Khameini. This war was fought with AI, and it's very fascinating. The final measurements are being taken into effect right now for the coffin, and we've got this last video here.
You want to see what Israel's Air Force is?
Sorry, wrong video. I swear I'm a professional.
صدای متجاوز به خاک وطن، صدای متجاوز به صدای حق و حقیقت است. آنچه که ملاحظه کردید، صدایی که شنیدید، فضای غبارآلوده استادیوم.
A little cringe. I don't know why that was sent to me. If you guys don't know what that was, then Israel hit live Iranian state TV yesterday or 2 days ago, the propaganda channel. So this lady was dubbing it. Folks, do what you can today. If you watch this video all the way through. Do what you can today to support the fall of the Islamic regime of Iran. Do what you can today to support the Persian people. Make a post on Instagram, make your own video, propagate the idea to everybody you know that this is a good thing. American involvement in this is a good thing. The toppling of the regime with the smallest loss of life possible to Americans, to Israelis, to Iranians as possible is a good thing. And American involvement in this situation is a good thing. This government, this regime wants the destruction of the West, wants the destruction of America. It's not a lie. It's not Zionist propaganda. It comes from them. They have said it. There's multiple videos all over the internet for decades of that exact rhetoric. I don't need to make anything up. My Zionist propagandist overlords from Mossad don't need to pay me to say this. It's the truth. I have no involvement with them. Promote the fact, let people know that this is the reality of what's happening and that we want to see the fall of the regime. And inshallah, Ali, Hussein, Ali, we will see the fall of the regime. I love you guys a long time. I'll see you in the next one. Support the channel. Goodbye, clads.
If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.